I look at the Niners, and the Niners have done a lot of things right now in terms of free agency, but I'm not sure they're a better team just off of free agency. I want to see what the draft brings in because I haven't been that impressed by what they're doing.
I don't know who. I mean, Jordan Elliott from the Cleveland Browns, D tackle. Is he a run stuffer? I'm not going to pretend like I know who he is. I'm really not. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched every step of the Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to do that to you guys. So I don't really know who he is. I'm counting on the experts to break down Jordan Elliott. Leonard Floyd, Baldy discussed him the other day here on the Morning Roast. Here's what he said about Leonard Floyd.
I mean, it's a big upgrade over Cleveland Farrell and Chase Young. And, it's been a while since they had a guy, that could really, win one-on-ones and keep the quarterback kind of hurried and affect the quarterback. I mean, Leonard's, he's a rangy guy. He's won in the postseason. He's a guy that you got to pay attention to. So I think it's a big upgrade over what they put out there on the field a year ago.
So it feels like the Niners have been searching for that opposite edge rusher ever since they traded for Dee Ford. And dare I say, Dee Ford has probably been the best edge rusher opposite Nick Bosa since Nick Bosa arrived in San Francisco.
I don't think you can argue it.
I mean, some people may, but think about that. Dee Ford played basically a little over a half a year for the 49ers. He got hurt, his body let him down. And look, man, I don't have any ill will towards Dee Ford, especially after we saw him on training camp, and he was working out by himself, and he's like, man, I'm trying to get right. I'll talk to y'all when I get right. He got right in the Detroit game, and then his body failed him. But he's probably the best edge rusher opposite of Nick Bosa. And they've been searching for that guy opposite Nick Bosa. Randy Gregory, for whatever reason, didn't work out. Chase Young, we saw Chase Young, even though he had a good Super Bowl, he left a lot on the table.
I haven't heard his name linked to any team.
Well, he's going to visit the Titans.
Saints and Panthers.
Saints and Panthers. Ugh.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on Leonard Floyd. I want to see what it looks like. I'm intrigued. The signing that they did last night in terms of linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Now I don't know how much he's got left. He was at one point a really good player.
Oh, he's a really good linebacker for the Vikings for a long time.
I mean, when you bring his name up, do you know what I think of?
The double A gap blitz, mugging the A gap, staying up there at the line of scrimmage and bailing.
Jimmy Garoppolo throwing one right through his hands.
Well.
And then Kyle Shanahan screaming at Jimmy Garoppolo in the playoff game, and then never throwing the ball again for the rest of the playoffs.
Now, Jimmy's expected to be cut by the Raiders today, and I heard some people talk about maybe bringing him back as a backup to Brock Purdy.
Do not.
In San Francisco.
Do not.
That would be hilarious.
Yay! Wait, timeout. Okay, I know it'd be hilarious. Do you want Jimmy G as a backup?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't really care who plays quarterback for the 49ers no more. I just want a damn Super Bowl. So I wouldn't bring Jimmy back.
Purdy.
Look at Jimmy. I know Jimmy can run the offense. Jimmy won a lot more games than he lost.
I'm out on Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup.
You know what? Bring in Jimmy as a backup. I'm good with that. Jimmy. Eric Kendricks, by the way, you guys all laughed and you guys were so worked up about the Minnesota Viking game, that 2019 playoff game. That defense is one of the best defenses in the league that year. And Eric Kendricks was part of that. So this guy had 117 tackles last year, 79 solo, 3.5 sacks. Now the Chargers didn't win any games, right? They didn't win many games, but I like this stopgap. This is a nice little Band-Aid. He's a professional. He's been in the league since 2015. California kid, UCLA. Hell, his brother had a cup of coffee with the 49ers a couple years ago, Michael Kendrick. Eric, I'm not mad at this move.
No, I'm not either. I like this move. And as well, you already have Fred Warner, who's going to be a great veteran and a leader. It's always nice to have older guys, seasoned, been through the wars. For those younger players, I keep bringing these two guys up, D. Winters and Jalen Graham. Who knows if these guys are even going to be on the team a year from now? But I was impressed with both of their play speeds last year during the preseason, and I just want to see. I want to see if these guys can play. I feel like linebacker is a position that the Niners have done a really good job developing over the years quietly, and I still hold out hope that one of those youngsters can pop, and getting a guy like Eric Kendricks out there and his brain in the film room and all the studying and everything, it can't hurt.
No, that's great. Also, the Chargers. Pay attention to the Chargers, folks, because at 1 o'clock is when you have to get under the cap for the new league year, and the Chargers have 4 players who account for like $130 million of their cap. 4 players who account for $130 million of their cap: Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Khalil Mack, in Joey Bosa. And Joey Bosa has already told the Chargers, I'm not taking a pay cut. It's not happening around here.
The Bosa's
Keep it
pay
moving.
cut. Come on.
Keep it moving.
Bosa's don't take pay cuts.
Yes. Well, Nick, I'll be looking at him down the line here. Can you free somebody up? We want to get you some help. You know what I'm saying?
No, Bunty, I can't.
Yeah, see, that's not. I mean, Fred Warner's out here doing it. George Kittle's doing it. Let's see what happens with Nick Bosa and Deebo Samuel. I want both those guys to take a little, help the cap out. Patrick Mahomes helped create $21 million in cap space for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I hate that guy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't hate that guy. I actually love that guy.
No, he's amazing. I also hate him.
It's, don't hate him, hate the game. Hey, Shanahan for not drafting him.
No, the Mac Minister.
Listen,
don't hate the game. Hate yourself.
Hey, Shanahan for not drafting him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm really kidding.
Downfall is near and it's coming hard.
Just stop. Stop it. You're acting like we signed Sam Darnold to be our starting quarterback on a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Your boy Coward loves it.
Of course, Coward. I don't know why he loves Darnold. I do.
Your boy.
Just for a sec.
He loves
What
Coward.
is it with Darnold? What is it?
I don't know.
Why? No man has had more chances to prove that he's mediocre, and people still think he's elite. I do not get it.
You must have missed week 18, Chasky.
I watched it. Carson Wentz outplayed him.
You sure about that?
I'm 100% positive.
The movement skills,
I was
the mindset.
thoroughly underwhelmed.
The throwing of the football. That almost comeback on Christmas night. Come on.
Red Auerbach sitting down, smoking a cigar, you said was the most insulting thing in sports while the game was still going on. Sam Darnold coming in for knees last year was as insulting.
Sam Darnold, QB1, baby. QB1 in Minnesota. Has George Jefferson feel good about that?
I don't get the Sam Darnold thing.
Does George Jefferson feel good about that?
Garofalo of NFL Network, Mike Garofalo, however you pronounce it.
Garofalo.
Thank you.
Garofalo? Is it Garofalo or
I'm
Garofalo?
Italian. I should probably know this. I'm very embarrassed
You're
right
not
now.
Italian, Spadoni.
What?
You're the fakest Italian we know.
What's my last name?
Spadoni.
Fakest Italian you know? How many fake Italians do you know?
Now I want to know.
Oh, you just triggered him.
Just you.
You know what? I'm done. That was insulting.
Well, where are you going?
You're not going
Go
anywhere.
to the sales staff and hang out with them.
I don't blame you.
Well, no, I had to
not
give you
here
that.
yet,
I had to give you that, Jack, because you threw the Laker thing around here, and you know how I triggered that kid about that.
I didn't even say anything about them. I was just
Yes, you
speaking
did.
facts. That's what I do. Shout out to the pregame show, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Guru said you're black. He said you're actually a black guy.
Yes, Spadoni's black.
What? What the heck?
I don't know the
cannot be?
context of that either.
That has to be out of context.
No, continue. I derailed you, Spadoni.
No, but Garofalo of NFL Network basically saying that the Vikings are not looking to trade Justin Jefferson, that they were looking to potentially extend him last year, but those talks, I guess, didn't go through, but they are not trading him this offseason.
Yeah, because Jefferson doesn't want to be there. Like it's pretty obvious to me. But that whatever. We'll let that play out.
Right. Hunter Renfrow also getting cut, Spadoni. How much does he have left in the tank?
Well, he's still relatively young. I know he was at Clemson forever, but he's
Right.
still like in his late 20s, I think, like that. And he just was dealing with injuries, and they basically got his replacement last year, and he's just better, Jacoby Myers. But he would be a great 3 or 4.
I'd love him.
Like, I could see the Chiefs again.
Oh God.
I know he'd be great with Patrick
Everyone
Mahomes.
looks good on the Chiefs.
No, but Renfrow was really good 2 years ago. Then he's had injuries.
Can we make him look good on the Niners?
Yes, he gets open. Like, he's a great route.
That's
runner.
what we're talking about. The slot receiver.
100%.
I would bring in Hunter Renfrow to have him compete with Ronnie Bell. Hey, Ronnie Bell, you want to be our slot receiver? Well, here's Hunter Renfrow. Beat him out.
I don't think you can have enough wide
One of the more
receivers.
underrated things about the Trent Baalke / Harbaugh era was that they brought in dudes to compete with the starters in training camp. I remember Boobie Dixon was about to get cut from the team. They brought in Rock Cartwright. And I was like, Boobie, you want to be on this team?
Hey, Rocky Cartwright ran hard that.
And you know what? Boobie ran harder.
Yeah.
And he made the squad.
Braylon Edwards. Was it Jacobs?
Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs. I don't even know if those guys made it to week 8.
I mean, listen, man. I'm not mad at bringing in some competition here. I need to find a slot wide receiver. I need to push some of these guys. Some of these guys are a little too comfortable on this football team.
Can we agree? When you're at the top of the top and you lose in overtime to the Chiefs, most teams are going to have a hard time getting better in the first couple days of free agency. That's pretty reasonable, right?
Were people expecting them to get light years better than last? How high? The offense, look, and the more I think about it, we had the Deebo conversation, the Kittle conversation. I got to run this offense back.
Okay.
They average damn near 30 a game.
I would like to add some elements to it.
I mean, I want to add some speed and some lightning. Yeah, no doubt. I want to add to it.
Yeah, you
but
know.
do we need to shake it up and trade guys? Like, I just saw the cap number with Deebo was like 28 million. Damn.
Changed his number yesterday.
Yeah, number one. Number one is
Love
sick number.
it.
Number one is saucy.
I love
That
it.
is saucy.
But the point that I'm seeing is like, I think a lot of Niner fans are, oh my God, we're not doing anything. Okay, when you're at the top of the top and you have to cut a couple of guys to ease things up, I don't think you can judge a team's offseason or what they're going to look like in August based off the first 2 days of free agency. Let's let the whole thing play out, and then let's also allow for them to, I don't know,
Right.
make some of their draft picks before we come to sweeping proclamations.
Well,